Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast. I want to start with something I hear almost every week from patients over 60. They tell me, I'm in bed for 8 or 9 hours, but I wake up tired, stiff, or foggy. Many believe that's just aging. But what if it isn't? What if the way we sleep or fail to sleep is quietly shaping how our brains, hearts, and muscles age? Tonight, we're diving into what might be the most important 12 hours of your life, the hours between sunset and sunrise. To guide us, we have with us again Dr. Shigeyaki Hinohara, Japan's oldest practicing physician now retired, who has spent decades teaching that the night is not just for rest. It is the body's most critical window of repair. Dr. Hinohara, welcome back.
Thank you, Dr. John. It is always a joy to be here. In Japan, we often say, the night hides the doctor's work. It means that the deepest healing happens when we are unaware, in the dark. Aging does not happen only in the sunlight of the day. It happens, or it is slowed, in those quiet, hidden hours.
That's beautiful and a little haunting. Most of us think of sleep as a passive process. The body shuts down and we wake up renewed. But you've said it's more like choreography. What actually happens in these 12 hours?
Yes, people imagine the body turns off. But in truth, it becomes more active, more precise. At night, every organ has a schedule. The brain clears toxins, the heart lowers its pressure, muscles knit themselves back together, hormones shift from stress to repair. It is a symphony. But after 60, that symphony is more fragile. A single wrong note, a late meal, a bright screen, a restless worry can confuse the orchestra.
So if these signals are disrupted, what happens?
The breakdown is quiet. You don't notice it after one bad night. But over years, it shapes aging. A little more stiffness, a little more forgetfulness, a little more fatigue. Many people shrug and say, that's just getting old. But often, it is not age. It is rhythm that has been lost.
That makes me think of something you once said. The night must invite the body to heal. Can you explain?
Yes. After 60, the body no longer defaults to repair. It must be invited with clear signals, dimming light, calm breath, gentle temperature drop. If those signals are missing, you may fall asleep, but you will not descend into healing. That is the danger. We confuse unconsciousness with restoration. They are not the same.
That explains why so many seniors tell me, I sleep for 9 hours, but I wake up exhausted. It's not just about quantity, it's about whether the body entered true repair mode.
Exactly. Timing matters more than duration. The brain's cleansing system, for example, only activates in deep sleep. Miss the signals and you lie in bed but never clear the waste. It is like closing your eyes without cleaning the house. The clutter accumulates and eventually memory, focus and energy decline.
So what begins this healing process? Is there a first step we often miss?
The night begins with the last bite, not the first yawn. After dinner, the body chooses digestion or repair. If the meal is heavy or late, digestion wins and repair waits. That delay can ripple through the entire night.
That changes the way I think about evenings. Many people treat bedtime like a finish line, work until late, eat, and then collapse into bed. But you're saying the night actually begins earlier, with preparation.
Yes, the body is not a switch. It is a river that must slowly change course.
Doctor, let's talk about what most people get wrong. Because when I see patients over 60, I notice certain habits that seem harmless but quietly sabotage their nights. For example, many eat late dinners, thinking a full stomach helps them sleep. Others fall asleep in front of the TV with bright light blaring, and some try to fix fatigue with caffeine or wine. Are these the very things interfering with healing?
Yes, those are the three most common mistakes. First, late heavy meals. Digestion competes with repair. When your gut is still working, your brain and heart cannot rest. Even a healthy food, if eaten too late, delays melatonin release and keeps the body in day mode. Second, light exposure. The body does not know clocks, it knows light. A bright screen tells your cells the sun is still shining. Melatonin, the conductor of night, is silenced. Third, alcohol or caffeine. Many believe a drink relaxes them, but alcohol fragments sleep. It reduces the deep phases when the brain clears toxins and the heart lowers its pressure. Caffeine, of course, does the opposite. It delays sleep and keeps the body alert long after the mind feels tired.
That's striking. So even if someone feels like they're sleeping, their body may still be working overtime.
Yes, to be asleep is not the same as to be restored.
So let's turn to solutions. What do you recommend instead?
In traditional Japanese medicine, we view the hours after sunset as sacred. The body must be guided gently into repair. I often advise 3 rituals. First, Yushoku no Michi, the path of dinner. Eat your final meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. Let it be light. Soups, vegetables, fish, or small portions of rice. A warm broth especially soothes digestion and signals closure. Second, the twilight walk. 15 minutes of gentle walking after dinner lowers blood sugar, cools the core temperature, and prepares the body for descent. Not exercise, but movement, as if strolling through a garden. Third, dimming the light. In my home, I light a single lantern after dinner, warm, soft and steady. This is more than atmosphere. It is signal. Your body hears it and begins its quiet transformation.
That's beautiful. You're describing sleep not as a command, but as an invitation.
Exactly. You cannot force sleep. You can only create the conditions that allow it to arrive.
And I think this is where Western science and your wisdom meet. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that adults over 60 produce less melatonin naturally. That makes external signals like dim light and early dinners even more important. And the walk after dinner? Research confirms it helps regulate blood sugar, lowers evening blood pressure, and even reduces nighttime urination or nocturia, which so many seniors struggle with.
Yes, and it is simple. Not new medicine, but old rhythm. The body does not need to be pushed. It needs to be aligned.
It strikes me how often modern medicine rediscovers what traditional cultures already practiced. The science explains the why, but the wisdom has always known the how.
That is the bridge. East and West are not opposites. They are 2 hands holding the same truth.
Doctor, you've given us the science and the wisdom, but I know you've also lived this through your patients. Could you share a story that brings this to life?
Yes, I will tell you about Mrs. Ito, an 82-year-old woman I treated many years ago. She came to me saying, "Doctor, I am fading. I sleep 9 hours but wake up tired. My legs ache. My memory slips." She believed it was simply age. When I asked about her evenings, she told me she often ate late with her family, then watched television until midnight. Her room was bright, her mind restless. She thought she was resting, but her body never entered repair. I gave her no pills, no strong medicine, only rhythm. Eat earlier. Walk after dinner. Dim the lights. Rest the mind with breathing before sleep. She doubted it at first, such small changes for such large suffering. But within 2 weeks she returned with tears. "Doctor, I wake with strength again. My legs are lighter. My mornings feel new over time." Her memory steadied. Her blood pressure improved, and most importantly, her joy returned. This is what I wish every senior to know. It is never too late. The body remembers how to heal when you give it rhythm.
That is incredibly moving. And it echoes what I see too. Sometimes healing doesn't require more effort, it requires better timing. So for everyone listening at home, let's make this practical. If you're over 60 and struggling with shallow sleep, low energy, or morning fog, here's a simple plan you can try tonight. First, finish dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Keep it light. Vegetables, soup, or fish. Second, take a gentle walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Think of it as signaling the body to begin winding down. Third, dim the lights. Put away the bright screens. Turn lamps to warm tones or light a single candle. Fourth, when you lie down, practice 3 slow breaths through the nose, letting the body release the day.
Yes. And remember, sleep is not a finish line. It is a bridge. Treat the evening as the first step onto that bridge. If you cross with care, the body will carry you safely into repair. I will leave you with a Japanese proverb. The day begins with the night before. If you wish for strength in the morning, honour the evening.
That is a perfect closing thought. Doctor, thank you for sharing your wisdom. And to our listeners, thank you for spending this time with us on the Senior Health Podcast. Try these small changes tonight. Notice how you feel in 7 days and share your experience with us. We'd love to hear your journey.
Yes, please share. Healing is not only personal, it inspires others. May your nights be calm and your mornings full of light.